Indonesia, the last and shortest stop on President Bush's 8-day trip. Just 6 hours in all, virtually all of it spent on the lush grounds of a former Dutch colonial governor's palace well away from the capital. The reason? Here in the world's most populous Muslim country, the president is deeply unpopular over Iraq, Afghanistan, and his support for Israel.
Just Bush is nothing for us. We don't like Bush, very don't like Bush.
Scenes like these 2 miles from Bogor Palace were repeated in a dozen other Indonesian cities. Plus, there were fears the Al-Qaeda-linked group behind the Bali nightclub bombing could strike again, which is why thousands of police and Indonesian troops threw a security cordon around Bush and his delegation. In fact, the closest he and the First Lady got to average Indonesians was this visit with school kids inside the complex. The rest of his time was spent with President Susilo Yudhoyono, a close ally in the war on terror. At a joint news conference, Bush shrugged off the protests as a sign of a healthy democracy at work.
And it's to Indonesia's credit that it's a society where people are able to protest and say what they think. And it's not the first time, by the way, where people have showed up and expressed their opinion about my policies.
Bush said he hasn't decided yet whether to raise or reduce the number of U.S. troops in Iraq. He's waiting for advice from his commanders. But Yudhoyono said he thinks it's time other countries pick up more of the load.
It's not only the responsibility of the missions of the United States and other countries who are now involved in Iraq, but of course is the roles and responsibilities of other nation as well.
And the Indonesian leaders said there should be a parallel timetable for a U.S. withdrawal, though in deference to Bush, he added, someday. The president's visit here aims to assure leaders in Muslim countries like this one he's interested in their views. Of course, President Yudhoyono maintains had Bush listened earlier, he'd have saved himself and America much heartache. Mark Smith, The Associated Press, Bogor, Indonesia.